All right, welcome to Transform My Trading. Today is July 29. It was an FOMC day today, and for a lot of people, it was a roller coaster day. But for trading purposes, it was an exceptionally good day if you had the patience to wait for the right setups and to execute accordingly. Let's look at this is the NQ market, and let's look at the market from the opening, and now I'm gonna analyze all the way at the end, at the closing. And I put down several notes, several things here. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. I think you guys could see the blue line here is the overnight low. The dotted blue line is day session open. This gold line is overnight open, and this top blue line here is overnight high. And the red one, the red lines here, I put it TMT support and resistance levels are the red lines, these red lines here. This is the 1 minute chart here. This is the think and swim. I've got the 5 minute and 1 minute, and we're going to alternate between the two. So let's start from the beginning. The market opened right around here. It opened around 27,914, and we put that line right there. And if you look at it, the TMT line and the day session open are right next on top of each other. In fact, it's almost the same, and I put it right below so that way we could, we could see it. So that's a strong. Once we have two lines like that or three lines, when we have a stacks of lines to get on top of each other, that becomes even stronger support and resistance levels. So market did open and went up. Well, actually, as soon as it opened, it went down and tested the TMT level right there. The 1 minute chart, look at here. Let me expand it. The first bar and the second bar, and we had a double bottom with the third bar on the 1 minute chart at the TMT level right there. Now, depending on how you trade, some people do not trade the first 5 minutes, some people do. It's a trading style you have to adopt. I sometimes trade, sometimes I don't. Now, in this case, let me see if this is the, yeah, so in this case, I actually did trade here. And then when the market broke the day session open and the TMT level right there, I went long, added to the position. Then the market, of course, we had a couple of lines ahead of us. The first one was the overnight open, this gold line right there. And the next one was TMT level. Market did went up and touched the TMT level and broke back down the overnight open. And that was a good short right there. Your target would have been the next TMT level and the day session open. Now in this case, it did break through that and found support at the next TMT level right there. Sorry about that. Right there. And look at how many times it played around there. It tried to break back up the day session open and the TMT level. And remember I said when we have two lines stacked up together, that becomes even a stronger support and resistance. Market wasn't able to close above the TMT level. It broke down, and that was a good place to go short again. And then when it broke the next level, there was another continuation short. The next level, there was another one. And it did find support here, but at this stage, the market is in a downtrend. We don't want to, get into the market right there, especially looking at the 5 minute chart. Right there. So market went up and found resistance at this level. Look at this bar right here. That's a good reversal bar, and when price broke below the TMT level right there, we could have gotten short. So that was another good short. Again, it came right there. There was another short, and then it came down and touched the overnight low right there. Okay, at first glance, we might think that would have been the low, but again, the market is in a downtrend, so it did continue to go further down, and it actually found first support right here. That was an indication that some kind of support is coming into the market. Look at how the market played around there for some time, and part of that was because of the FOMC day, because people were just waiting for the market and to react to the news. But even then, right there, which is right here, we could have gotten long right there at this bar right here, because look at the RSI divergence. Okay, so we had basically multiple bottoms at this level with RSI divergence right there. Okay, that was around 744, which should have been around that right there. We had a divergence actually on both the 5 minutes and on the 1 minute on the RSI. Market then climbed back up and tested the overnight low, and it did not go above that, and it can continue to go further down and found support at this level right here. And this was, time-wise, it was around 9:15 Pacific time. The market was in oversold condition, both on 5 minute and 1 minute. There was no really strong divergence there. It was a small divergence, but nothing crazy. And then the market climbed up. The other good trade would have been when the market climbed back up right here. It came down. It didn't, I was looking for a double bottom here, to be honest with you, right here, but it didn't give us the double bottom. It actually gave me a better than double bottom. It gave me a first higher double bottom above this low, like right there. Now, could we have gone long here? We could have gone, but what I did, I waited until the market broke this high right here in order to go long. Okay, it broke this level right there. Okay, because the overall trend, the main trend was down. So I wanted to make sure that there was some kind of buying opportunities or buyers are in the market. So for me to materialize, this 1 minute top had to be broken in order to go high. So that's when we went long right there. Okay, and then the next trade we could have taken was when the market did break the overnight low right there. Look at how many times it touched that low. We could have put a trade anything above this high right there, and then it went up. And I want to show you guys some of the ideal setups for today. This is one of the ideal setups. Let me put it right there. We had a double top with a great divergence at TMT level right there. Double top with great divergence right there at the TMT level, and look at this reversal bar right there. Okay, so that was a good trade right there. And then The next trade was when the market came down and did a double bottom at the overnight low right there. We already know that this area was holding as support, and look at right there. The same thing. Double bottom at overnight low with a divergence on RSI. Okay, look at the divergence here. And of course, after that, you really didn't want to trade until the news. And when the news came out, of course, the market shot up. And I was expecting for the market to go and test the day session open. It kind of did, but it didn't have enough power to go all the way to day session open. Look at this part here too, the double top. So we had three, so far we had 1, 2, and 3 double tops at either TMT level or overnight low or high with divergence on RSI. This was a great setup as well to go short, even after this big, huge bar. We knew this was this was news driven, so the fear that it's gonna be coming back down, or I mean the risk was pretty low in this for this trade. And look at where it did come down to. It came down to this level, and look at how many times it touched that level, and it never really, I think it closed below that just once right there, and every single time was above it. So that was an indication that this level was acting as a strong support. Again, this was a TMT level right there. We are right here, and look at the divergence again here. As the market, the price was staying at the same level, RSI was going higher. So this place was a good area to go long. That was, let me see, around 11:30. Somewhere around here. Now, conservatively, you could have gone long above this bar here, or if you wanted to be aggressive, you could have taken long anywhere with a stop below. But remember, I always say when you're aggressive, you're gonna be, you have to be prepared that you're gonna be stopped out several times, right? And then this was the one of the, I would say the mother of all trades for today, but there were so many good trades for today. Again, look at the double top at TMT level with a divergence on RSI. Right there. I mean, you can't get any better than that. Then market dropped from there on, and there were so many continuation trades. Just to show you guys, market dropped, then broke the overnight open. That was another continuation. It broke the day session open and the TMT level, that line that we said earlier that was a strong support and resistance. It did break that. It came from underneath, tried to break through it, but it didn't have enough power to do so. In fact, look at this reversal bar right there, and that's below that. That was a good short to go short. And then market kept going further down. Look at it, came down and touched exactly the TMT level. It tested this TMT level once. It came back up and tested it again. This one, look at this double top below this top, and this was at around right there. So it tested that again. Now, when the market is in really strong trend, the RSI is not going to be effective, just so you guys know. In this case, RSI wasn't effective. But the levels were in terms of market tested this level, came back up, tested this level, the same level again, and dropped. That was a good trade. And then it broke through this level here and this VIP line that I put those gray lines, by the way, after certain time periods passed in the market. And throughout the day, they're going to be very, very important. And in this case, for example, once it broke here, this was a good short to go further down. And this was almost by the end of the day. Okay? So there were so many good opportunities today for trading. Hopefully you guys took advantage of it. I know it was FOMC day. Many people do not like to trade that day. I personally love trading the FOMC day, but it does require discipline and patience. You know, you have to have the patience to wait for the right setup and for the news to settle down and everybody, you know, calm down the market. So hopefully you guys got some information out of this and some knowledge. If you have any questions, you can call me 818-307-5544, or you could visit Transform My Trading at transformmytrading.com, which is, I think I wrote it down someplace. Let's see. I guess it's right here. Right there. So transformmytrading.com. My email is transformmytrading@gmail.com. All right. Thank you very much, and I look forward to hearing from you guys.